everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. Some housekeeping real quick. First thing is I want to make sure that everybody's able to tune in when I'm on. So if you'll check out right over here, basically below me, you've got all of my, all the places to find me. You've got Facebook, you've got Discord, which I plan on at least at a minimum on the Discord being able to put when I'm going live. So maybe that will help some of you guys out. Lower my chair here. You've got the YouTube channel itself, and then of course you have my Instagram where I post some of my photos of things that maybe you wanted to see a little bit in more detail or what have you. We're back. I just had a really busy weekend, had a lot of traveling to do and stuff for work and things like that. And so now we're working on this Earthshaker carriage, and I've already kind of started on it, so I apologize. But it will be relevant here, some of the things that are going on, considering the instructions aren't that great. One of the things that we've got to worry about right off the bat is going to be these bogies here that hold the wheels on and not gluing them. But anyway, so the other thing is I want to really thank everyone for the other night. I mean, it was super fun chatting with all you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to do more of that. But I'm leaving my Discord up in case you need to chat there or what have you, and hopefully I will see that. Also, I will have you on YouTube as well, but that's going to be the plan from now on. So basically we're looking at about 8 p.m. Roughly Eastern Standard Time for the United States, just to try to keep it a solidified time, mainly for those of you trying to look for the channel or to see when I'm going live. That being said, I am going to post when I'm going live, so that way because what I understand from Ari, wherever he may be or she may be, is that I guess it's like a 10 or 15 minute, possibly 10 to 15 minute thing before YouTube will even tell you I'm online. I'm not sure why that is. So my workaround is the Discord. So when I'm about to go online, if you sign up for a Discord channel, it doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to be a Patreon member or nothing like that. I'm gonna post when I'm going online, so that will hopefully help everyone out with trying to figure out the madness. So anyway, so yeah, I've got Discord up and running now, as well as YouTube. And let's get to this. So from our last video, as you guys saw, we had to straighten out the barrel, and we did that. And there's not a whole lot of pieces to this. It's just the manner in which you put it together. And right now, the actual carriage, if you will, that I'm working on, and the part that I've got to worry about the most is when I put these bogies on that hold the wheel, because they're supposed to go up and down for the terrain. And if I don't put them on a base, or if I do put them on a base, I want that flexibility anyway. I've just got some cleanup and stuff here to do. I did want to mention also, obviously you guys can see these Krieg guys back here that still aren't put together because again I've been gone. But if you take a whenever you're dealing with these guys, if you buy them from Forge World or whatever, you have to be careful. I'm gonna try to see if I can show you this. Yeah, it looks good, so you can see what I'm talking about. You see this? Let me get my razor blade here to point it out. You see right here, this little line looks like a crack. Well, it is. Many of these guys, probably 80% of them, just trying to get them off of the sprue part itself, the feet broke off, just in the cutting process, and then I had to trim them up and then glue the feet back on. So it's just something to be aware of, that you may have to deal with. But yeah, we're getting to this, and now I'm really excited because this is these Earthshaker batteries are pretty neat. Now they don't want you to glue this on. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of glue in there. And it should there's really nothing to keep it from popping off, you know, like this. But that's okay. I am not going to glue it on at the moment or even do anything with that. I'm just going to go ahead and put these wheels on. And that's another thing with the wheels, is regardless of how much you know, these had to be glued together, and you see all of this, you know, going on right here, regardless of how much you've chipped off or scraped off or even, you know, filed off, you're probably going to need to put that piece down. Okay, there was just so much resin there that was, you know, attached to that. It just really, you know, it's just really gnarled up, and I don't feel like putting a mask on right now anyway to really sand it down. Plus I don't want to sand it down too far anyway, but you're not going to see it anyway once I put it down, you know, the right way. Also, you have a ton of stuff like where's the one I was working on? Maybe I already finished it. I was doing stuff and doing things all at the same time, but you're going to get a lot of flashing, you know, inside all of these holes and stuff. Like if you take a look at this, you can see that extra flashing that's on the back side of this, and all of that was in every one of these holes. So I had to take the razor blade, stick it through, you know, like this, and then just spin it around, you know, to get it out. Don't get carried away cutting, because once you cut, that's it, you're screwed. So anyway, let's get these wheels on. And you really have to pay attention in the instructions, not just here, but you got to pay attention down here as well. Let me move this up for you. At the angle right here. Okay, this little piece right here and that little piece right there, which is this piece right here. Whether or not it's supposed to be up or down, it should be up, and this is going to be in towards the carriage. Okay, it's what they call the bogey, with your leaf springs or whatever you want to call it. It should be in towards the carriage itself. So when I look at the actual piece, this is how it's supposed to go. All right, not the other way around. And I went ahead and put this piece in, and put a little bit of glue in there so that wouldn't come out. And that was another area that I had to stick the razor blade in and spit it around and clean it up. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to set that off to the side for now. We're going to get these wheels glued on, and I am going to actually glue the wheels onto this part, but I needed some time for these wheels to set anyway, or cure, whatever you want to call it. And then what I would do, just what makes sense to me, is get, again, you have the working time, you know, of the crazy glue, so it's not like it's just going to immediately, you know, and even if you got lucky and it did immediately glue, you're still going to be able to, you know, semi-break it loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that down on the flatter part, actually, and then just push that down in there. Here, let me keep that in the game. I mean, in the camera. And that's how I plan on doing this. So now you may ask yourself, well, why didn't you just put glue in the hole here? I don't like doing that. I like doing it on this part, so that way gravity feeds it down, and it at least in my mind, we'll put it that way, it tends to bond better, versus trying to sit this in a pool of glue, you know. Alright, so let's make sure we got those messed up areas lined up. Looks about right. And I'm looking at the other one, and I already saw a problem. Must have turned on me. So remember, this is the up part, so you gotta make sure you do that right here. Yeah, see, I still have some working time with that, thank goodness, because this had rotated on me. You could probably even rotate them more in too if you wanted to help hide them. Alright, so that'll work. Okay, what are we doing next here? We're not going to put those on. Let's turn this over. We're going to get these on here, but these aren't supposed to actually, if I'm not mistaken, these aren't supposed to glue either. Again, I've never put one of these together, so you're learning right along with me. bits here. Okay. I'm trying to find this part right here. There it is. Alright. That's going to fit in there like so. I don't see anything. Oh, I do see something. Alright, so that's why I was looking. There's a pivot joint right here that goes on here. Looks like we're going to have some more trimming to do. Right in here, as you can see that window of resin. Let's see. This appears to be upside down. So why is that not going in there? Is it really? Alright, well that one seems to fit. Okay, and then the issue that we have is this has to go on there. It cannot, yeah, that makes sense because they would lift up with the handle here. But that's not going out very wide. Alright, we're gonna have to figure something out here. It's not very wide at all, actually. But anyway, this plate's going to go on there, so these obviously have to be put into place. Now, right here, we've got a hole here that's filled with resin, if you guys can make that out. So, thankfully, we have our, wherever I put them, I say we have, our trusty hand drills. Yeah, here's one. Let's see, where did it go? Yeah, that's some pretty thick resin there. And you got to be careful at the angle. Sorry, you got to be careful at the angle because you don't. Man, that's it really is thick. I don't think that drill's gonna pull it off at the moment. You gotta. There's a big knot of resin right here. What I'm going to do is see if we can't slide this in a little further. Nope. Gotta love it. I don't know, I may have to grab a different drill. Yeah, it's just spinning. Hold on, I got drill bits right here. Let's see what I'd like to use. Size of my hole. Looks about right. Okay, so we're gonna be very careful as we drill this out, hopefully. I'm drilling at an angle towards where it won't let me bring the drill bit over. Okay, and I don't want to go too far because I don't think you're supposed to. I don't think it was that deep of a hole to begin with. Okay. Let's try this. Alright. Oops. Well, thought we had it. Now this one does not have the point that this one does, so maybe that's part of it and I need to just trim it down. I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to get in there a little bit more because it's not letting me get the pin inside there. But I mean, this is all part of being I guess a more experienced modeler for some of these models that you have to be. I'm not saying that in such a way that people aren't. I'm just saying if you don't know what to look for, you don't know how to fix it, it can be a pretty intimidating task, especially when you paid a ton of money for this stuff and you're worried about ruining it. I mean, people worry about that just from painting, let alone this stuff. So, alright, so now what we want to do is we're going to have to be really careful here how we glue this because we don't want any spillage. Barely put any in there, and then put this over top of it because that's how it's going to be. And you probably don't want to push down on it like I just did. That's why I let go real quick, because you might actually break something. And then those come out slightly. I mean, I guess the way I'm looking at this, it almost seems like they might come out more, but I'm not seeing that. I guess if you wanted to, you could round that off, but to be honest with you, that's a huge footprint, and I don't know that I really want to do that. I think I'm fine with just the way that they are. Alright, so we'll just let that sit for a moment. See if anybody jumped on Discord. Not yet. Okay. Put this away. Actually, let me put both of these together. There we go. Oops, sorry, I moved the camera. Alright, what's next here? A little trimming while we're waiting on that stuff to glue. This is the breech door for the cannon. And again, this, I mean, what you see is what I've got as far as actual instructions. So you kind of just have to figure it out as it goes along. And that's really all you can do. But I guess in their mind, the more serious modelers are going to be the ones that buy this stuff, not young kids and stuff like that. So I guess in some ways they can kind of get away with that. But again, I would have appreciated a more detailed instruction deal. But of course, once we've got this one together, we'll be able to fly through the other two, no problem. I mean, it'll be almost similar to putting Space Marines together for myself, because I don't need instructions at all. Okay. So while we're waiting on that, let's do something with the cannon here, which is the main focal piece anyway. So it looks like we've got quite a few pieces here of handles and the breech. So the breech is going up here. I'm not sure, should we do it closed or open? Open seems kind of cool, but like they're loading it. That's what I did with my Basilisk for my Armageddon Steel Legion. Only issue we have here, yeah, I think we're gonna go with it being open, like cracked open. I think that'll give it a more kinetic, and lively appearance. So without going crazy here, I'm gonna lightly sand this a little bit, just so I don't have a lot of dust or anything like that in the air, because it is harmful to breathe. Slap a little bit of glue on there, and then we're going to take this and rotate it up slightly. Okay. I said, resin is a pain to glue for certain. It doesn't matter what glue you use, really. Alright, there it is. But I'm a little picky. I can tell when things are just even the slightest bit off center, and I'll fool with it until it falls apart. Let me bring this camera up more. I realize you guys can't even see what I'm doing here. Bit here that I probably should have trimmed off and made it more square, but I didn't see it. And then I'll go back and, you know, fill that in with either milliput, green stuff, or just glue. Alright, so that looks pretty decent. Now we've got handles. Looks like we've got a couple. There should be 3 handles here, and there are. 1, 2, 3. They all look the same to me, so I don't think it really matters which is which. And looks like we have one that's up here, and then 2 that are over here. And this is gonna fit in there. And what I want to be able to do, like I said in the first video, is I want to be able to get this in here, but I don't want to glue it in place. So I'm gonna have to be, you know, I want it to be able to move, even though, I mean, there we go, you know, whatever the chances are of me. Alright, that's what I was afraid of. So it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to be successful at what I want. So unless I can somehow get this to come together more. I mean, I'm putting a lot of pressure on this to keep the barrel from falling down. It's unfortunate. Well, anyway, we got it in there, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and put these little handles on here. Hopefully they won't break off anytime soon. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that, because if I get to messing with this, I may break them off. Alright, well, at least we got that part. Now we need this part, our recoil dampener. Okay, guess it doesn't want to play ball with me, so that sits in there like that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put a dab in here because I don't want to overload this thing. Hold that. Everything looks relatively straight. Except for the hatch. The hatch does not look straight. But I'm going to take that off and we'll deal with that later too. I have a feeling though that this particular cast was not cast correctly. Just by the way some of the stuff looks weird to me. again, I think, unless there's a way for this to come together, which I don't think it will, yeah, I'm gonna have to glue it in place, raised up. Ah, that stinks, but that's okay. It's like I said, it's not like I'm probably planning on, you know, moving it much anyway. So let's see, we can drop that down in there. We did. Got it on both sides now. I'm going to bring it all the way. Push dry fit that. I'm going to bring it all the way up as best I can. Oops. Yeah, that way I, you know, if I'm ever dealing with any buildings in front of it or whatever, it's without a doubt it's, you know, shooting over it. I think I'm going to slap some glue down in there too. Don't know how good it's going to work out for me. It doesn't even look like it's touching anything. But man, I'm not even able to hold this tight enough to get this to glue apparently. Alright. Well, we have a fix for that. Hopefully this will work out the way I'm hoping. You popped out of there. Gotta make sure it's straight, lined up straight. There we go. Yeah, if you don't have any of these, go to your your local hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot if you're in the United States or whatever. Any kind of clamp will do, but these, you know, it clicks closed and it works out great. So, oh man, I shouldn't have messed with it. Let's see here. It does not seem like it's up high enough, but it's actually up as high as it'll go. It's just an optical illusion because of how I have it laying on the desk here. Alright, there's a lot of pieces here that we're not supposed to glue down. Some of these I'm probably going to have to dip into, like these pieces, I'm probably going to have to dip these into some hot water to get them to lay flatter. But again, I mean, by the time I'm done, I'm probably gonna base these things out and it won't matter. I gotta dump this whole thing, not the shells, but I gotta dump this box in some hot water because as you can see it's crooked and I need to straighten it out, and then I'll put the shells back in. But some of the shells will actually be in some of the guys' hands. Oh crap, I just dropped one on the floor. Let me find it real quick. Alright. And I'm thinking about, I mean, I believe I still have the mold. I think I do. I might not. Let me see here. Nope. Doesn't look like I still have the mold, so I'll have to make another mold. I want to make even more milliput or green stuff. You know, boxes of shells like this, if you will, so I can have them like all around. You know, on the basing element of it. Alright, I'm going to set this off to the side because I think it still needs to do some work. And let's see what we can do here. These look like they're glued, but I'm gonna let them sit off to the side. What else can we do to this thing? We got the jack levers, they're right there. Left trail arm. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. These are the jack levers. There's one. This does not look like a jack lever. What the heck, man? Oh, there's the other one. Okay. It's kind of bent a little bit, but we can work that out. Because they've even got a place for it to lay in, so that's good. Let's see here. We'll put a little bit of... Also, if we happen to go, like, just go offline, we've got storms all around us, so that could be a thing. Sorry, I'm checking. Yeah, I'm out of glue. Grab a glue piece here. I save all this stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, this is literally the tube that I use to make that Manticore missile launcher. Okay. Alright, I can do that. Let's get a little bit of glue in there, a little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit there. Don't go crazy. Alright, so pieces forward. And I need to make sure that it's bending the right way. So for some reason it's not going to lay flat like I thought it was. That's actually going to work out in my favor a little bit, so I don't have to bend it. Well, I say that now I'm looking at this and I may be incorrect. Come on, get off. Not too bad. Alright. So that piece is on, or those pieces are on there. Alright, we need the gun traverse runner. That is this piece right here. And that is going to go on here. Again, above. Actually, that's going to sit way above. Alright, so how does that go? Okay, let's see. I've got it backwards. No, I don't. Well, according to this, I do. But that's not. Oh no, I'm good. Alright, I see it now. So this little piece underneath here. And just enough. Yeah, that's definitely some thunder out there. Okay, barrel support. Let me guess. That was what was going to keep everything up for me, huh? But we don't have a very good picture of what this looks like. So that stinks. We really don't know what it looks like. Interesting. It's gotta be either this piece, well, it's gotta be this piece, because I see nothing else. Yeah, there we go, right there. Alright, I'm tracking now. trim this off because it's pretty gnarly right here. Okay. Now it's going to sit right in here. Dang. Just make sure it's, yeah, see, it wasn't lined up straight. Again, the working time to me is what's better. I would rather do this and take the extra time to have to wait for it to, you know, to dry or whatever, than all of a sudden everything melded together and I'm screwed. Okay, what else we got here? Right recoil spade and left recoil spade, but I have to do that afterwards. So here's these two, and this is going to be right and this is going to be left. Do we have anything we need to trim? I don't see anything. Looks to me like there's some kind of something goes in here, but I don't know. Got some trimming here. Okay. Yeah, see, it seems like supposed to be something that go. Oh, you know what? It might be these. I don't know. Not sure what these are. Well, these look like they might be. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I'm tracking now. So these fit on here somehow. If that goes on there like that. It's crazy how you have to try to figure this out. Alright, well at least we know what goes to what. So those go to these recoil spades. This piece, we do not know what this goes to yet, but it needs to be trimmed a little bit. Okay, we got a couple of tools here, and I think what I'm going to try to do is go ahead and put these recoils. Oh, okay, so these, I get it, these fit up through here. That's a tight fit. I can already see. Oh, that one's even full. Dang, man. Alright, so we're going to have to go in here and we're going to have to cut this out. Hopefully, without ruining anything. Both of these were. Look at that. Dang. I still don't think that's enough room, but we're gonna give it a shot. See if we can fit it in there. Doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe. All right, before I go any further, let me make sure. All right, so yeah, this is the wrong side. No? I know that the wheel has to be out. That's the way this is showing me. But what I'm not seeing is the direction of the threads. Which, looking at this, oh, that I can make it out right here. The threads are on, like, inside or inboard, so that I've got that right. All right, cool. All right, cool. So that's, man, it's in there. Oh, I got it out, but man, it went flying. Shoot. All right, I got it. All right. Where's the other one? Here it is. We'll see if we can get this one in here. Man, that's a tight fit, dude. Real tight fit. God, come on. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna break that if I don't do some more. Gosh, man. I worry about hollowing stuff out like this because, like I said, once you do it, man, you can't really go back. On the bottom, it's not so bad, I guess, but man, you start fooling around with what people can see, it'll irritate you the rest of your life that you've owned the model. There we go. Uh-oh, we got hung up here. Hold on, come on. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, what is going on here? Both of those seem like they're bent at an angle when they go through there. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. It doesn't seem like it to me, but that's exactly what I'm looking at here. And then the other part is they've got them all the way up, so it's kind of making me have to push it up in there. Shoot, man, I don't want this to snap off. There we go. Well, they're in there. I mean, I would have thought that they would have went straight up in, but I guess they don't. Interesting. All right. Well, we've accomplished that. Yeah, these look like they're curved, so I guess I'm doing the right thing here. All right. I don't think this piece, the barrel support's gonna come off right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over and see if we can't get these recoil spades on here. The right one goes over here somehow, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but we'll figure it out. And the left one on this side. So yeah, these instructions are heinous. Okay, I see what's going on. All right, so this is gonna lay right in here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this damn paper out of the way so I have a flat surface for both of these, because I'm going to need it. Make sure I don't have any extra parts on there. I don't. Okay. And then get this one over here. Let's put some glue in that as well. Oh, that's what threw me off. Okay. Will be up at an angle, looks like, because this is supposed to fit. Oh, come on, man. Right in there like that. Perfect. Alright. Hello to everybody that's watching. There we go. Awesome. And then I'm just going to turn that over and leave it alone. Matter of fact, the pressure on the barrel support might actually be a boon. Alright, so we've got those done. Wheels are done. I mean, you know, to the point we're not going to glue those on. These are a bunch of small pieces that we don't have. Some of them we don't have the slightest clue what to go to, some we do. I know that the tools, this looks like a breaker bar to me, and you know, a little sledgehammer. I know those go on the front. These little pins, I'm not exactly sure what they go to yet, and these are of course some kind of, you know, trail hitch type thing. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. Jeez, man, sorry about that. And then our handles, and then we've got these that I'm definitely gonna have to put this in some hot water, because if I don't, I'm gonna break this trying to make it level, and it really does need to be level. So, and again, the same with the ammo box here, it's all contorted, but that's easy fix, like I've showed you guys before. Real easy fix. So for the most part, now let's see if our Earthshaker cannon has been glued in place. I think it has for the most part. I'm going to turn this back over carefully. And this would sit right there like so. We have to make sure that we don't put any real downward pressure on it right now because of those spades. Hell, I mean, probably got to worry about that regardless. And I'm already seeing a problem with how we did the barrel. It's in the way, so that stinks. We're gonna have to kind of try to break that loose a little bit and hopefully not break it. There we go. Again, working time with crazy glue is awesome, in my opinion. So now, yeah, that'll fit in there like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this whole carriage on here, and we'll worry about gluing it later. I'm just not obviously gonna put anything on the barrel support. Let's see here. Come on, get in there. All right. So that's in there now. Looking good, looking good. I'm just gonna, just to give it some more support, I'm gonna go ahead and put these wheels on also so we can see what it's looking like other than the small details. Hold on. I know I'm gonna send this barrel flying across the stinking room. You're not supposed to glue these on, for those of you that are just joining the show here, because they're supposed to be able to operate, you know, like a gimbal, if you will, for the terrain. And I plan on, when I base this stuff, they're not going to be sitting just on flat terrain. You know, I want them to be kinetic and have some kind of, you know, action to them. All right, there's that. I gotta get this back in there. Alright, that looks halfway decent. The cannon's resting on its barrel support. And for all intents and purposes, this bad boy, for the most part, would be done. Now, you would take these and put them underneath, you know, where the trail casters is what they're called, where they would go to kind of keep them so that they can move, you know, even if there's mud or anything like that. Like I said, I need to get that in some hot water. We'll put the, you know, the breech on there a little bit later or whatever. But wait a minute. Uh-oh. I think I saw something. No? Hold on. Yeah, I thought that wasn't straight. Okay, now it is. But you're not supposed to glue these on. Oh, that's right. That's what these are for. These, whoops. These pins right here are supposed to go here, so that way when if you close this up, you know, diorama, whatever it is you're going to do, these lay down on top of that for storage. Now I remember. Let's see, they're called channel mount pins, and they need to go on there, and I need to clean up the top of it. Let's see here. And if you haven't, or if you're not aware, AOS or Age of Sigmar 3.0 came out, or at least there's YouTubers out there that were sent a box set from GW. I'm gonna be the negative Nancy. I'm not really impressed. I mean, I'm not really into Age of Sigmar anyway. I mean, I have some stuff, it's just not really put together. But the biggest thing for me is, you know, again, Stormcast Eternals, which I know are the, you know, supposed to be the Space Marines of the, you know, Age of Sigmar universe. I just don't like the way they look. The orcs that are in the box set aren't too bad. I forget what they call them though. They looked pretty decent. Although I will say that the muscular features on them seem pretty smooth compared to, you know, normally what we see with orcs. So I don't know. I won't be rushing out to buy it, I'll tell you that. Not to mention I've got way too many models anyway I need to be working on. Boy, that thunder's loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that through the mic or not. Alright. That looks about right. Okay. So yeah, you would put this together, and then these, you know, would lay on there, you know, like so. Whoops. And what it would do is it would keep these, you know, your plates here, as well as it helps, the plates help keep, you know, the arms in as well. Okay. And believe it or not, this stuff is actually still in existence. Okay. But I don't know what this goes to. I have no clue. Okay, the tools go on the front, got that. Let's see, trail pin. Oh, this is the trail pin, okay. So basically, and you're probably not going to want to glue this in. If you close this up, you know, together, let's see if we can do that. Well, I might need some trimming, but anyway, this pin goes in there to help hold them together as well, so you can tow this thing. But I think I'm not going to bother with that because I really don't want to break things, so I'm just going to stick it in here. Okay, maybe, there we go. I'll stick that in there, just some weird angle so it looks like, you know, it's being used. And then these caster channel plates here, you know, well, like I said, once I do the actual basing, you know, all this stuff will be, you know, how it should be. What else? Looks like the rest of it, we got the 3 handles, we know where those go. Obviously we know where the breech plate goes, or, you know, hatch. This part here, this looks like some kind of part for towing, but I don't see where it actually goes. Nope, don't see where it goes. But it's definitely something, unless it's just a broken piece, maybe? I don't know. Alright, so I don't know where that goes. Haven't figured out where this goes yet. And I'm looking at these. They actually do not bend over like that as much as, which, you know, would make sense to me, but they're definitely on the inside. Perhaps I have them on the wrong side. I can try that now. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we don't break anything. Oh, come on. If I break it, you can laugh. You probably will laugh. Uh-oh. Bad boy does not feel it. Okay. there it goes. So let me see if changing these around will help at all. I don't think so. Could be wrong. Nope, they do the exact same thing. So the only other alternative I would have to making them straight up and down is I'd have to heat them up and then, whoops, wrong side. Heat them up and then just bend them, and you just wouldn't know. Which is not hard to do, you know, wouldn't be hard to do. Hey, that didn't come off, so that's good. And now it looks like it actually wants to hold somewhat. But I'll probably still glue that up, you know, like that. Just because. Hey, Ripley Cat, how's it going? Like I told everybody in the beginning, if you check out my Discord, if you want to get in there, I'm going to start posting when I'm online, because this stinking YouTube is, I guess it doesn't let you know for some time that I'm even on. And I remember that from another one of my subscribers, Aro. I'm sorry, Aro. Jeez. Don't kill me, Aro. Didn't even know I was online for 15-20 minutes while he was online. So if you go to the Discord there, Angry Badger Minis, you know, just I don't know if you have Discord, but if you do that, I'm going to be posting it there when I'm going, you know, when I'm going live, and that way you'll know ahead of time, and hopefully not miss out on anything or have to go back and rewatch stuff. Gosh, where does this piece go? These are the worst instructions ever. Jeez, the worst instructions. Yeah, I don't see this piece at all. Wow. It's gotta go. I'm thinking it goes in the front near the barrel somewhere, but it doesn't. I mean, I'm looking right at it right here, and I don't see it. I don't see anything on the bottom. I know it's not just an extra piece. That wouldn't make any sense. And this piece is called, what is it? I'm not even seeing it on this. Oh, there it is, number 9. Number 9, Trojan tow bar. Okay. Trojan tow bar. Don't see that anywhere in the instructions. Nope. Zero Trojan tow bar listed. So maybe it's for something else. Like if you had, you know, a different vehicle, maybe you can just put it on something somewhere. Yeah, it's not listed anywhere on here. I'll probably figure it out later. So yeah, essentially, yeah, they're not even showing like where all these little, you know, these little hitches and stuff go. So basically, if you take this stuff out of it, this is all we have left, which is not a big deal. I'm actually going to go ahead and glue these tools on right now. Wait a minute, what's going on here? How in the world? Well, good thing I didn't glue the wheels on. So what's everybody working on in their hobby? Like, what are you guys working on? Okay, trim that up. Yep, looks like we gotta dig a hole out again. Yep, on all of these. Like, what armies are you guys currently working on, or are you painting, or just putting stuff together? Get in there. Oh boy. And also, for those of you that are joining, what's your favorite part of this channel if you've been around a little while? Is it this stuff with the commentator nonsense that I do? Is it any of the video gaming, the reveals of like White Dwarf or whatever? Man, I can't get that in there. Would have helped if I'd have done it before I put all this stuff on, right? Lesson learned for the next two. Alright, you're starting to irritate me. Building Nundums tonight, right on. I hear ya. I can't get into those, Plague. I really can't. I don't mind the High Terra Lord one because of the robe on it. It takes away from the leg, you know, so much, but the legs are just so freaking huge. It just doesn't, I don't know. I just can't do it. So I probably will not be purchasing those. Unless there's something else I can do, like to cover up the sister that's inside of it and it just be a mech, you know. But the legs are just too humanoid for me, without having some kind of, you know, cape or you know, dress or skirt around it. Gosh, man, this I should have done this a long time ago. This is a pain. Get in there, you son of a gun. Alright, at least we got that part in. Bend this out. Oh, you son of a... Family friendly video. Family friendly video. Say it with me. No, I've cursed on this thing before. Shoot. You are just being a pain in my ass, man. They are goofy looking for sure, but the Emperor protects. I don't know if the Emperor can protect my eyes. It's like staring straight into the void, man. Emperor's gonna protect my patience with this thing. Gosh, man, come on. Forge World, what are you doing to me? Oh, did I get it finally? It's gonna snap, I know it. I can feel it. It's in there. Just not in enough. Oh, and it's twisted inside. Come on. Dude, really? You're just gonna force me to carve this crap out, and I don't want to do that. Oh, that's so close to snapping, I can feel it. I can sense it. My spider sense is tingling. Yeah. What are you working on, Ripley Cat? Come on, man. Dude, if you snap, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm tempted to take it back out and try again, and I'm afraid I won't get it back in there. Oh, careful. I like battle damage, but not that way. Come on, man. Alright, got it through finally. So, there it is. You got your sledgehammer in there. Thank goodness. Alright, let me put some glue in there before it develops an actual sentient life and jumps out of there on me. And then this crowbar or breaker bar, whatever you want to call it, hopefully that will go in easier since it's got a tapered edge. Look at that. Boom. Like we knew what we were doing. guess we can go back. I want to make sure this barrel is straight still. May not be, but it seems off. Yeah, it was off. That's what I thought. Alright, so we're going to go back and try to glue this bad boy. But I want him at an angle. Wait a minute, is that even down in there? You son. No, it is. It just looks weird. Okay. So let me get these wheels back on. Like I said, eventually I will glue them in place once I have the bases formed, but right now they advise not to, and I don't want to. So what I'm worried about though is in order to get them on, you put all that pressure that you can snap them off. I don't think that'll happen, but you never know. Gosh, come on, man, get in there. Now I'm gonna line this barrel up. Hopefully, the camera in my face. You're more in charge of building terrain, but your last army was Tyranids. Right on. That will be the last army that I put together that I have, because it's I don't even know how many models I have anymore for that army. It's too massive, and that's not even including the Gene Stealer Colts. But they are hands down one of my favorites, if not, you know, my favorite. Next, well, they're not my favorite over the Death Korps of Krieg, but they're definitely my favorite. You're in charge of building terrain. Are you telling me that your significant other has put you on that arduous, monotonous task? Is that what you're saying? What colors am I gonna paint them? That is the question for the ages, brother. I had a fully painted Tyranid army that was, I think it was 5,000 points, and I gave it away. Just felt like I needed to do that, and it was, they were mostly black and brown carapace with a kind of an orange skin tone. It was the older models too, you know, the really older models. But I want to have something a little more vibrant, I think, maybe, but also flat. And the only thing I can think of is this cricket that I saw a long time ago. And unfortunately, the colors aren't very vibrant, but the glossy sheen that I would put over some of the chitin and whatnot would be. But it was like a black, brown, yellow, and tan cricket, and it really stuck out to me. But I've been doing some research and looking at what other people have done, and I really like, you know, I'd like to have some more color, you know, than just have an entire, you know, 13 cases of models that are all black or brown or something like that. But that's definitely a question for the ages, man. And I'm not sure if the Gene Stealer cult will match them or not. I mean, I'm thinking that they probably don't have to. Oh yeah, no, I'm just joking about the terrain thing. It's just, you know, a lot of guys don't want to do that. So, yep, crafting is the way to go. Alright, I'm going to put something underneath this barrel to hold it up, I think. I think what that's going to be is another barrel. Nope, that ain't going to work because I won't be able to use it when I do the third one. So, let's find a tool that we can use for all of them, and that will keep it relatively straight. This is too thick, of course it is. Use this brush, maybe. Nope. All Alright, what else do we got? Shoot. Will the trusty tool of the ages work? Oh, we might have a winner. I don't know. Nope. Not yet. Come on, man. Alright. We may be stuck holding this thing. Let me see what else I got here. Got all kinds of tools here. Most of them are not for hobbying, but they work just the same. There we go. Now the question is it on straight? And the answer is no. Jesus, come on, man. Work with me. Yes, yes, yes. No, no. That's a reference from Austin Powers, if nobody got that. Shove a dice in. Yeah, you know, you're saying that, and I got two of them right here, and I was actually thinking about that. Yeah, the cricket thing, man. It's just, you know, most of my armies, I mean, think about it. Well, I say my armies. If you go with just the base color schemes that Games Workshop puts out for Ravenwing, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Death Company, Orcs, you know, Goth Orcs, because I'm not really into the whole yellow thing with Orcs. Doesn't make any sense to me for Bad Moons. Death Watch, Grey Knights. I mean, that's a ton of black right there. You know what I'm saying, or at least dark colors. Let's see here. You did a warband of Plague Touch Marines once. Lots of green stuff and gross. That's a good idea. But I don't know that I could do it. My Plague Army and my Death Guard Army is going to be massive. And that's another problem I've got. I've got the new Plague Marines, but I've also got the old ones, an old Plague Army, complete Plague Army that I never put together. It's all the metal models are still in the box, all this stuff. You know, the old Nurglings, which I think the old Nurglings look better than the new ones. The new ones just look too cartoonish to me. So I'm going to have to figure something out to, I don't know, do something with that. But, alright, I'm going to leave you alone, I hope. But yeah, so my plan is, again, to be on here right around 8 o'clock every night. Hopefully I'll find some time to actually make some other videos and post them, and whether I'm doing this or gaming. But, you know, what do you guys want to see? Hey, Teacher Sensei. Yeah, well, my sister's army, I don't know if you saw that video. So I have the actual old metal sisters battle, but I gave them to my wife, so she can do whatever she wants to with them. The sisters army I have, they're all made out of Dark Eldar, and Space Marine parts, and they look like the Sisters of Silence, only I made them long before Sisters of Silence even had a model. And they're definitely not going to be painted black. I'm also not going to paint them gold either. I'm not really digging the gold on the Sisters of Silence either, and I do have a small Sisters of Silence army, or they can combine with the other one. So I'm thinking something more in the lines of like a, I don't know, a white and a purple, you know, like a regal purple and white and some gold, you know, trim or something like that. I think that's what I'm probably rolling for my sisters, just so I have some color, you know what I mean? If she wants to ship them to me, I won't be upset about it. Yeah, well, I mean, eventually I'm going to buy the new sisters, but that's another thing, you know, they don't match up, you know, the size, and to try to blend them in. I've seen other guys do it because they didn't want to get rid of their stuff, but, you know, right now we're in our second year of having little ones, so a lot of this is slow other than me putting things together. And I've gotten pretty far. I mean, 16 armies so far. If you break the Dark Angels up into their 3, the Blood Angels up into their 2, and Well, my work army is just one massive army, and it takes up the whole case by itself. And I think right now it's the only army that does that. And it's probably because of all those def coptas and everything else that I've got. What the heck else? I don't know, but this army, this one's going to be massive. It's going to take up at least half. I wish I could fit those Titans inside there, because I'd love to get them off the shelf and put them away, but those things are massive. That Warhound's going to take up at least a shelf on its own. And I'm not positive. Trying to think how many knights I'm going to put with this army. One or two, well, one at least is already made. It's a Warden Knight. I really like that army. I mean that knight. And I have one more Warden, I believe. And if that's the case, I'm going to put them probably both with this army. Okay, for sure I'm going bone armor, burgundy robes, and gold detailing. Yep. Should do an army tour stream. Dude, there's I actually do have a couple videos back, and I try to do that like every time I get done with one. I put the, I do the army itself, and then every once in a while I'll go back and show the progress. But there are videos back there that show all of that progress. So it's a lot. And if you go back to the very first video, you'll see that, and then you can go forward and see some of the progress that I made, and it's massive. So I'll keep that in mind when I get these guys done, and put them away. Then I'll go ahead and do it, because the next big thing after this army is going to be chaos. I have one, well, a minimum of one for every chaos army. Although so actually you guys might be able to answer this question. Alright, so I'm not a big fan of red. I'm gonna have to suck it up when it comes to Blood Angels, and I want to make a Flesh Terrors army as well, because they really are my favorite as far as Blood Angels are concerned. But when it comes to chaos, the bulk of the models that I have, like, I'm not talking about Plague Marines, is the gosh, what were they called? Crimson something or other, I think, from the Dark Vengeance box set. It's Crimson something. It's gotta be. But anyway, I'm leaning more towards Alpha Legion colors. The problem is some of those Chaos Space Marines have mutations, and I've never read anywhere that that they have mutations. And I was also leaning towards Iron Warriors, because I like them as well, but they tend to cut their mutations off. I don't know. I mean, do the Alpha Legion have that? Should I just go with Alpha Legion colors and call them whatever? I'm kind of open to ideas on that one. But I'll have Thousand Sun. Well, that's the other thing. The Thousand Suns, I'm going to paint them the way they should be. So there's your blue army, and they're very troop heavy. Most of my armies are troop heavy. I like seeing all the troops on the battlefield. It goes right in line with the the fiction that we read. Mass battles. But what was I going to say? Anyway, we'll have Thousand Suns. We'll have Slaanesh army. The problem with the Slaanesh army is I don't have any Slaaneshi Marines. It's just demons. And the Khorne army, same way, just demons. Some of my models will be creature caster models. I'm not real big into Games Workshop's. They're freaking what you call it? They're demons. They just don't look the part to me. And Creature Caster had some really great ones. Iron Warriors, yeah, it would be sick. You could even trim some tentacles like they were actively removing them during battle. Alpha Legion is tricky because there's always a debate if they're actually traitors or not. Yeah, that's true. I'm just thinking, if I can't remember what those models look like, but if they happen to have any kind of, whatever mutations, you know, I just didn't want to, you know, have a. I mean, I don't really care what anybody thinks, but I just didn't want to have a stupid looking army. And I could easily go with Chaos Undivided, but there you go again. You got another black army. I've got Abaddon. He's going to be black. You know, it's just hard to get away from black. You know what I mean? Thankfully, my Salamanders army, when I redo those, because I gave my old one to my wife, they'll be green, but they're not going to be the vibrant green that you typically see. They're going to be more, probably more in line with maybe 30K, you know what I mean? That color scheme. And then I've got a ton, well, I say a ton, I've got, let's see, 5 boxes from the first Horus Heresy box set, and then 4 from the second Horus Heresy box set. So, and none of those are going to be Chaos that I'm aware of. So they're, you know, and those were all slated to be Salamanders as well, just with the older armor. Salamanders is my ultimate favorite Space Marine chapter, just because they're about the only ones that actually care about humans. So let's see here. Yeah, I guess that's basically it for this, other than, you know, these toe pieces. And then I just want this gun to glue in place before I try to do anything else. So I need to leave it alone is what I probably need to do. But I am going to put a little bit more glue down in there just in case it didn't make contact and dried. Let's see here. And then we've got our Masters of Ordnance. One of these will accompany each one of these Earthshaker batteries. So, and I say I don't like yellow. I know I'm going to build an Imperial Fist army, and I know that I got to have Iron Warriors to go against them. You just have to. There's no way around it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, seriously, what do you guys? I don't know how long most of you have been with the channel, but what are you guys liking so far? I mean, I'm not painting anytime soon. I won't be. I've got to get this stuff put together and playable. But it's, you know, I'm trying to break it up some with, you know, I like the game, you know, I like Space Hulk Deathwing, and we can play that on PlayStation and put it up. I need to get down there and check out Necromunda Hired Gun again. They did some updates, and I'm sure there's more. And then I've got Death Watch on PlayStation, the disc anyway, so that way I can do that turn-based game. I like that. I guess you guys heard, maybe you heard, Eternal Crusade's finally going away, right when I go to get back into it, of course. And then Dawn of War, I love playing that. I don't always win, but I love it. And I try to always play on Insane, just because. And I'm thinking about downloading the, gosh, what's it called? I have the Apocalypse mod for the non-Steam version, but I was thinking about getting the Unification mod, that's what it's called, for the Steam version. That's supposed to have a ton more, you know, other things. So, and I'm looking at our stream here, and it looks to me like I'm about, well, according to this, I'm about 6 seconds ahead of the stream, but I don't think that's the case. Hold the line! But yeah, definitely you guys, you know, check out the Discord if you don't mind. But again, I'm going to try to be on here 8 o'clock, you know, every night as I can. And, you know, life comes first, of course. But so far, you know, I think we've been going, I don't even know how many months we've been doing this, but we're, you know, we're getting there. And I'm trying to figure out who the heck I'm going to use to make this last standard bearer for these guys. But I'm afraid to move this thing now because I need it to glue. But yep, we got 2 more, I'm sorry. 2 more Earthshaker cannons here. And How long have you been watching, Ripley Cat? And I've got, well, we've still got the cavalry to do, but I think I'm gonna do something. There's some parts that I'd like to duplicate just for me, and I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm also looking at taking my Death Watch Terminators for my Space Hulk game. No, I haven't, not yet. And unfortunately, my favorite horse, they're not making that one anymore. That's crazy. But I don't know if you guys magnetize stuff. I do, just because I want to be able to switch weapons out and stuff. Oh, right on. Well, thank you, Plague Moon. I'm glad to meet you guys. This was my first Space Hulk Blood Angels Terminator, and as you can see, he's darker in the back than he is in the front. More of a zenithal, not highlight from the top, but more in his face. Unfortunately, this poor boy right here, once I get started, I have, gosh, I don't even know how many box sets I have of Space Hulk of the 3rd edition. I don't know, it might be like 10 boxes, 10 box sets, and each Terminator squad is going to be a different chapter. And since it's so long since I painted this guy, I think I painted this guy back in 13 or 14, I'm going to have to strip him just so I can make sure everything matches. And my wife's going to be like, no! And I'm going to be like, don't tell me what to do, woman. No, I'm kidding. But it's and then I've got, well, those are all sisters in the jar over there that are being washed and stripped, and we got Cadian, I'm sorry, Catachans and Cadians, and I got a whole box of tanks here that here, let me show you guys this. These are the sprues for extra tanks. That I acquired over the years from people that just didn't want them or whatever. And then in the side here, more tanks. What do we got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 tanks in there. There were 6, that's right. I took one for the Steel Legion. So I think we have in total, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we might have about another 7 or 8 Lehman Russ tanks of the old kind that need a home. And then I've got the 3 with the vein blade downstairs that goes with this army. So yeah, mother load. And of course I've got these six chimeras here, newer chimeras. 5 of them at least will be going to the Krieg, and the other one's probably going to go to the Steel Legion unless I kit bash it into another Manticore for this army. But I'm just not sure if I want to do that or just wait for Games Workshop to make another one. I don't know if they're ever going to make it again. The one place we got to go to for models, and none of the models are in stock. So either they're doing really well or they're not doing well and they're just not telling us. But what I plan on doing too is taking all of this stuff. You know, I've told you guys about using this, you know, these sprue bits or whatever for terrain and resin, and using them like concrete, you know, and stuff like that. Break them up and then use them as, like, you know, the area that maybe they built it up, you know, in front of the artillery piece, or even, you know, oh god, I just remembered, I still got all those heavy weapons teams that I gotta put together. What is that? Let's see, 6 las cannons, 6 heavy bolters, 3 mortar teams, 3 auto cannons. What else is there? Shoot, man, I don't even remember. Yeah, I hear that. I don't know. Okay, did y'all hear that? That was loud. The most I've got is 1 Rhino, and then the Venerable Land Raider that can go with my Sisters of Battle from the Talons of the Emperor box set. that I put together with custodes. And then the custodes army, I think I have, let me see, I think I have 25 custodes, because you had the 5 that were in the Talons of Emperors box set, and then you had 5 in each of the second Horus Heresy box sets. And then I had 5, well, I guess I would have 25 actual Sisters of Silence as well, because of the same box sets. So that's basically how I did it, to avoid what I knew was going to end up happening. But then again, like I said, I also had my Sisters of Battle army, and I have a video out there somewhere talking about those. So if you just type in Sisters or whatever, you'll see it. But I definitely appreciate you guys chatting with me. It definitely makes the stream more worthwhile than just sitting here talking to myself and thinking that I'm going crazy. Did we work? Did it work? Oh, looks like it did. Right about then, the whole thing flops down. Wait a minute, are you moving? Boy, you better not be moving. Alright, I need to trim this up anyway. Let's see here. Let's do this in such a way that we don't have fine dust particles that I gotta breathe in, because I do not want to put a mask on right now. I didn't have that many. When I got into Sisters, it was really hard to even get the models, like, you know, even secondhand. So I'm sure you understand that. Alright, let's see here. Oh man. Let's see if we can turn around the other way and use the other hand as if that's going to change anything. Do you guys like my sarcasm? Oh my gosh, it came right off. Oh wow. I've never been that lucky. I've had to buy everything. Well, I mean, I was going to say buy everything new, but I do have a good number of the Legacy Grey Knights, and I love that model. I mean, I really do. It's just, you know, and it fits in nicely with the current Grey Knights, especially once you put it on the bigger base. And I mean, you know, not everybody's got it, so come on, man, get on there. I just need you to line up correctly, and you just don't want to do it. Well, that's good. My dad used to say nobody liked his jokes. I think I've said that once on here in a video. I almost fist slammed a retributor the other night into my desk because her arm was giving me the... Oh, man. Let me tell you. You are not joking, dude. You guys, whenever I get to my Warzone models, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that game. I only bought it strictly for the models. There's 80 miniatures in each box, 2 different sides, and they have the pith helmets, and basically they look like, you know, we'll say Allies versus Nazis, you know, in World War I. They're all trenchers. They're fantastic models, but the way that they go together, man, let me tell you, it's a ball joint, and if, you know, I'm sure you've dealt with that ball joint. I don't care how you glue it, it does not want to work. And I mean, it was the same nonsense with in some regards with the Skitarii that I had to put together. Man, I wanted to throw them across the room, and I'm trying to think, what army did I put together that really frustrated the Tau. That's just because I didn't like them. And you're probably like, well, why do you even have them? Because I'm a collector. And there was a time that I liked the Tau, and since Ripley Cat doesn't know this, before the Tau came out, I've told the story a few times, but before the Tau came out, Games Workshop was saying in White Dwarf magazine that if you wanted to, they were looking for people to petition, or to send rules in to make the game more interesting, chapter approved kind of stuff, whatever. Oh yeah, dude, AdMech is. I don't even have a huge army for that. It's not even. I'm thinking about though building a sand crawler, like a Jawa sand crawler for them out of scratch. That'll be a neat build if I can pull that off. But anyway, back to this thing. So I wrote these rules for forward observers, and play tested the hell out of it and everything. And it was flawless. I mean, it wasn't, because back then, your whirlwinds, your baskets, whatever, they had to have line of sight to the target in 3rd edition, which is when this was all happening. And yeah, Tau. Well, they weren't like an OP unit. You had to, they cost a pretty penny to have. And they could only, lays for 1 unit. So it would force you to take artillery units or whatever in squadrons, like 3 basilisks together or whatever. Or you'd have to have multiple of them, which is essentially what these Masters of Ordnance are now. So I'm starting to think that they kind of got on board with this. But anyway, I sent these rules in, and, the internet was young, 2 years, because it basically came out for the home, in 1996, and sent it on email. About a week or 2 later, I got a response back from Games Workshop saying that the rules were immaculate, they play tested great, but they just wouldn't fit in 40K. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks, but all right. I mean, they're going to know better than I, as far as that kind of thing. But I'm thinking, realistically, a forward observer would work. Well, then, everybody's getting excited for the Tau release and all this, and my buddy, Todd, he got his Tau codex in before me, and he was the one that helped me play test those rules. And he calls me up and he goes, "Hey man, did you get your Tau codex?" I said no, and he goes, "All right, well, I'm not going to say anything. Call me when you get it." So another week goes by, and I get mine. We were in Okinawa, Japan, so everything was, mail is weird. And I finally get it. I call him up, and I'm just flipping through it or whatever, and he goes, "Go to page 62, I think it was." I don't know, I might be wrong on the page number. But anyway, word for word were my forward observer rules for marker lights and stuff like that, as they called them. I couldn't believe it. They basically stole my idea, threw it into a codex, but told me it couldn't be used. And I was like, oh, I mean, I hated Tau after that. But at one point I thought I'd gotten over it, and I bought a bunch of Tau, got a bunch of stuff, on clearance and things like that from some stores or whatever. And that was a hard project to put together. Now this one's taking considerably longer, but I'm enjoying it. Whereas a Tau, I was not. I didn't start enjoying putting the Tau together until I got to the new Riptide Battlesuit. I mean, not Riptide Battlesuit, the oh my gosh, Broadside Battlesuits, and then putting the Riptide together. But I don't, those are the only real new things that I have. Everything else is old. I mean, the Crisis suits are the older Crisis suits. I actually took the 3. Was it 3? Yeah, I had 3 Crisis 3 broadside battle suits of the old ones, and since I had the new ones, I went ahead and took and just made those into more Crisis suits. So yeah, no, it absolutely sounds like Games Workshop, and and that's kind of like right now. I mean, I like to. I don't know if you guys have seen the few little battle reports or whatever when I was trying to learn 9th edition on Tabletop Simulator, but I enjoy that program. I'd like to play with somebody. I just don't have anybody to play with, so if you guys are ever game, let me know. You could probably teach me something. But what was I going to say? The way the rules are now, I think there's so much rules bloat, if that's a thing. My wife will play with me, when we have time or whatever, if she's feeling up to it. But we have to play with very basic stuff, because, and I don't blame her. I mean, who wants to read all that stuff? You know what I mean? Right on, man. Just let me know, because I definitely want to play. I don't really have anybody around here, and the one place we went to over a year ago, definitely before COVID, I went in there with the Salamander's army that I gave my wife. I built it in 2003. I've never changed it. And the guy had new Space Wolves army. I forget what the ship is called. I have one, but it's, what the heck is it called? Something Fang gunship, I think. But anyway, I went in there and I was kicking this dude's butt. And I mean, not like I was trying to, just, I mean, playing the way I play. And he was getting all bent out of shape over everything. And I finally said, you know what, you win. And I walked away from the table and I've never been back. And you know, I want my opponent to have fun too, not just me. But I mean, if you're gonna be a sore loser, there's nothing I can do about that. But yeah, I've told some stories on this channel from time to time. Stormfang, yep. Well, there's it's one of two. You can make it into two different things. And what I tend to do typically is I'll put the most expensive weapons or whatever on the thing, and then just proxy it as the lesser. That way, you know, you can never, you're not screwing up your opponent with trying to look at something and then they don't realize that the most expensive or most, you know, or the strongest gun, you know, if they look at it and the strongest gun is there, then they're already anticipating that that's what they're dealing with. And then you turn around and remind them, oh yeah, that doesn't exist. It doesn't have that gun. That's a lot better than going, oh, well, actually it had this gun, in my experience. Yeah, it's called a game for a reason, man. You're not even remotely wrong. Win or lose the battle is always fun, and that's one thing that's really going to get me by with these guys. If I ever develop that type of attitude, I'll be happy to put myself, you know, into public flogging. But you know, these guys are the cult of sacrifice. You know, they're gonna, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, either way they win, you know, in their own mind before they go down. Same thing with orcs. Orcs always win because you kill them, but, you know, all of the fungi and everything else, it's just, you know, I know it's probably a cheesy way to say I won, and I don't really say it to anybody. It's just in my mind, you know, it keeps the fiction going on. That's like if you guys have looked at any of these videos that are out there where people are talking about, you know, is the Emperor coming back? I'll be honest with you, I hope not. I mean, I don't see what they could possibly do with the story if he does. I just don't see it. Some of it doesn't even make sense from the Great Crusade to a point where the Emperor was out crusading with everybody. If he was so powerful even back then, you know, in some ways, I mean, why did he even need to send Marines down to begin with? But that's a long story to, you know, of debate that I don't even want to get into. But yeah, man, yeah, exactly. Leave him on a throne, or I don't know, maybe he gets obliterated, you know what I mean? Maybe his last, I don't know, his last breath or whatever is enough to seal the gosh, what's the tear called? I forget now. The big rift. Well, I mean, I'm not even saying that, but I mean, well, hell, the Imperium is evil if you think about it. I mean, it's definitely not what he probably intended it to be, but I don't know. I'd like to see more love to, you know, other chapters like the Carcharodons. There's talk about Primaris Grey Knights. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I think it'll ruin it. I think it'll ruin them in some ways. I think the Tyranids probably need to make it to Terra. And my understanding is there was already a Gene Stealer cult on Terra, and I haven't read the story, it's just something I heard about, and that the Custodes went after them. They told somebody to stand down. I think it was either the Imperial Fists or, no, it was the Death Watch. They told the Death Watch to stand down, that they were going to take care of it, and they pretty much got their asses handed to them. And then the Death Watch came in, you know, and my understanding anyway, they came in and saved the day. But the Custodes getting their asses handed to them because of the Gene Stealer cult, I don't know how long it had been on Terra or whatever, but I guess they finally purged it, supposedly. But yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Are you ready to... Man, I I want to glue this stuff on. So that's one thing I have to do constantly, is remind myself, slow down. Because I do get in a habit of wanting to just start gluing stuff together. Let's see here. We should be good. I can't get it to roll over in my finger. Come on. I'll tell you what also got me through, oh my gosh, getting all those Krieg put together was watching Ash versus Evil Dead while I was doing it all. I never thought I could get into that show, and now I've gone through all 3 seasons. And at the end, I don't know if you guys have seen it, so hopefully I'm not spoiling anything. At the end, you've got that big stupid demon. All I could think about was, that is, you know, what it probably, you know, looks like, or would look like, you know, if Chaos was on the, you know, on our plane in real life. Oh crap. I knew that was gonna happen. This does not want to go in there, man. I'm gonna have to hollow that out more. And I messed up the breech thing here. Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with these Earthshaker batteries. I think the Lion needs to come back. I think Gilliman is probably, unfortunately, going to become the new Emperor at some point. I think if they start bringing back all these Primarchs, it's going to ruin it too, even though I'd love to see Vulcan back. It's just too much power, you know? Come on. This thing is not wanting to play ball. Yep, the hole is just not big enough. Alright, where's my drill? That might be a little too big. No, we did it without destroying the hole, so that's good. That's always my biggest fear. And I'll be worried about that when I have to go back and drill all the holes for all my gun barrels. I don't know how I'm gonna do that per se with all these small las guns. Yeah, right. Leave the legends and the lore. Absolutely. I mean, it's not needed. You can make plenty of stories up with all the various races, in my opinion. And I don't know, but I got a feeling they're gonna end times 40K. I really do, and that's gonna suck, because I was barely getting into Fantasy 6th edition, and it was, you know, I didn't really get into the lore so much as just the gameplay, which was kind of cool. But then, you know, I bought the books for 7th and 8th, just never got a chance to play. And as soon as you turn around and they end times it, it's like, I don't know, man, it's just not interesting to me. Half the armies aren't interesting. They need to bring Bretonnia back somehow. I heard a rumor that might happen, and that's an army I wish I'd have got into, but come to think of it, it'll probably be better that I didn't, because if they ever come out with new models, I'm sure they'll be, you know, a lot more spectacular than they were. And I also have, gosh, what is it called? Song of Ice and Fire or something like that. Models that I got on the cheap from a game store. They were having a big old sale, and most of that is cavalry and everything else, you know, knights or whatever. That'll be pretty cool once I put those together, but I don't know how many people will stick around on the channel when I'm not putting 40K stuff together. That'll be the real question. Alright, I can't seem to get this last last turn handle in here for some reason. There we go. And then surprisingly, I don't know if this will interest you guys, but my dad's best friends came up here. They're older gentlemen in their late 60s and whatnot. Actually, one of them was in his 70s. And they were really interested in all of the models that I had put together. And we spent probably a good hour or so downstairs talking about the fiction of 40K. One of those guys is actually British. He just never knew about the game. And so to him, it's kind of a heritage type thing, since the company is from England, the game and everything's from England. So that was kind of neat. And he still got a book I gave him a long time ago. It was it's a Dark Angels book. What the heck is it called? Gav Thorpe wrote it. It's one of the first ones. It's with the chaplain that it's a chaplain on the cover. And basically these Dark Angels get fooled and they end up having to kill themselves, but to protect the populace. I'm trying to remember the name of that one. Let's see what you say. Plague says I had a Gloom Spite army for a bit, and that's so cool. Gloom Spite. Is that goblins? I'm trying to remember. Where's that? I don't know. I've got we bought a box set. It's got the plague snail in it. I don't know what you call that thing, and I'm hoping I could somehow fit that into my plague army, at least as a demon's army part, but I don't know. I think it starts with an H. Yeah, it's like a giant snail with a demon riding it. Reminds me of Alice in Wonderland with the caterpillar. But alright. Well, that's about as far I think as we can go with this model, other than getting this stuff here. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I really appreciate you guys being here. It was a lot of fun for me, for sure. And hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget that Discord, so you'll know when I'm online. And we'll see you guys soon. So take care.